All right, guys, hello, welcome, and good morning. Here from the 2022 Yokohama Norra 500. I'm Sean Sermon. You know this guy, Kevin Johnson.
Hey, good morning.
And we're just starting tech out. Right behind you here, behind the camera, we've got a bunch of vehicles coming through from our slow Baja all the way up through our rapider classes. And Kevin and I, we got a long day ahead of us, Kevin. But how exciting is it here to be back here one more time for another 500 event, going back and forth, 2 loops, north and south. It's going to be a lot of fun, Kevin.
It is going to be a lot of fun. And the thing I like about this particular on the 500, both races start and finish right here in Ensenada. So if any of you folks are watching this morning, you're in the area, come on down and get the excitement here. 2 days of racing, Friday and Saturday. And, Sean, let me ask you, with all the races you've done, what do you like about those back-to-back same location races?
I think it's cool. You know, it's just I want to start off with, I try to get a lot of people to come down here that want to go off-road racing. They're like, a little nervous, a little scared, how about going into it. I think Norra is a great way to do it because it's a little bit mellower if you're coming in as an amateur competitor. But then to come down and race from point A to point B, both being in Ensenada for 2 days, it makes it a little bit smoother. It's a beautiful town. It's very safe. There's a lot of great stuff going on here. So I think all in all, I think it's a lot of fun and it's a lot simpler.
Yeah, it's known as the Norra family, and actually when you take part of this event, you're pretty much part of the Norra family.
Absolutely it is, absolutely. And so to come around here and be going back and forth in and out of Ensenada, we're going up north. We're going to touch more on the routes and everything and heading down south as well. But I just think it's just a fun feel. Now, when we get into the 1,000, the Mexican 1,000 things, which we're going to be happening in April, we'll touch on that as the day goes on as well. That's an absolute blast. It is an adventure, to say the least. But doing it here in North for the 500, it's an awful lot of fun. Before he takes off, we got someone we got to bring in here. We're going to talk to him as the day comes on here real quick, but we've got Mike,
take this chair right here.
Okay,
very good.
Hi, guys.
And this is Mike Perlman. For those of you who don't know Mike, Mike's father was the founder of Norra many years ago. Mike brought this back around, 12 years ago or so? 13 years ago. And Mike, always a smile on your face. It's always a joy to have you here.
Also, I want to say thank you, Sean. Thank you, Kevin. This is the first day of our tech inspection, and the cars are getting lined up. We're putting the numbers on them, and they're going to start making their loops tomorrow and the day after. Thanks for keeping this thing rolling. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely.
And we got a whole day of work here.
And Mike, before you take off, we got to bring Mike back later on today. We want to touch on the background more of the event, and think about it, Mike. I'm gonna prompt you with this. I want to know more about later today. We'll talk about. I want to know more about the thoughts of how the 500 came around. We know where the 1,000 came from. We know the history of that. Mike's going to tell us about that.
No. Let's go back a little bit.
Yeah.
Back in the day, Norra had the Norra 500. It was called the Baja 500. And then somebody grabbed the name and took it, and now it's we got the Norra 500. Okay.
Fair enough.
And we got the Norra Mexican 1000 and the Norra 500. So that's our 2 races.
There you go.
But yeah, the Baja 500 was started by Norra back in the day.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. There you go.
Mike's always here to educate me on what's going on with Norra and down here in Ensenada.
I was just a kid.
Just
I remember.
Well, Mike, so with the 500 and the 1,000, question that Kevin had just asked me, what do you think, in your opinion, is so fun about having the start and the finish right here in Ensenada for the 500 for 2 days?
I'm not so sure. I kind of like having a destination that I can race to, and going in circles. It's going in circles. What can I say?
Well, I was bringing up the point that it's a lot easier for people to bring their family down because they're in one location they can hang.
Absolutely, it's an easier race to put on. Not for us so much. It's just as difficult for us as going all the way to the end.
Sure.
But for families to come, they don't have to drive all the way to Cabo and fly home and fly there.
Right.
It's simple.
Now, and let me ask you, so when we do our North Loop, and correct me if I'm wrong, but in the North Loop, there's a lot of areas that we race through that don't get raced through that often anymore. Is that true?
Nobody races through there.
Right.
We've got special permission to do that. And thank you, LSAO, for that. And it's beautiful up there.
Yeah.
And then we have the slow Baja, because last time I jumped in a Can-Am and drove through the pine forest, I was going, all I see is the road in front of me. I don't see the beautiful trees and the mountains
Right.
at all. And so we thought, well, maybe the slow Baja is kind of cool.
Yeah.
You get to see Baja.
Right.
Otherwise, you just see those rocks and what's in front of you, and you don't want to hit them. So you're driving. You go slow, you see a lot more.
Right.
Okay, maybe.
And you know, the slow Baja class has been growing and growing and growing. And that's, I think, for what you're saying, Mike, it's just a really fun, more laid back way to be involved and see it.
Yeah.
They're just as fired up as any race driver.
Right.
And you go interview them, you'll see.
Yeah, they're ready.
The smiles are the same. Yeah.
It's all good. They're being a part of something bigger.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay.
All right, Mike.
I'm going to get to work, and thank you guys. Thank you.
All right,
Okay.
Mike, are you saying this isn't work?
I don't know.
Mike Perlman, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. It's so great with Mike, because you know he's so busy right now. Everyone's pulling him in 20
Right.
different directions, so it's really good that he takes the time and joins us.
The behind the camera here, you guys don't see behind the camera. We got different people waving Mike over. Hey, Mike, I need you. I need you here. I need you there. So very, very busy man. Mike and Eliseo, those two guys are getting pulled in 1,000 directions all the time, and Pepe and everybody. You know, all the higher ups, all the big wigs.
Yeah,
Norra.
we haven't even seen Eliseo this morning. That's how busy he's been.
No, he's
so,
been running all over the place. And I'm going to say right now, because we got time to mess around a little bit before all the vehicles start coming by us here, but I don't think he considers what we do work, Kevin.
Yeah, what's up with that? I noticed the pause. The silence spoke volumes there from Mike.
It certainly did. It certainly did. So pretty exciting stuff. I'm going to just flip through here, but we've got a whole group of new sponsors involved this year. And I want to touch on some of that. And then also we have over $30,000 in contingency purse money and prizes, things given out to so many of the UGB classes. But bringing on some new sponsors this year also, you know, it's very cool. So we got Maxima Oils and Lubricants, a company I rode for many, many years. Raced some motocross things years ago, and I still run all Maxima products and everything I have, my snowmobiles, my ATVs, my dirt bikes, everything, even in my Husqvarna lawnmower. It's probably overkill, but I still run all the Maxima stuff and everything. Adler Motorsports, heavily involved. You guys know Greg Adler, well, this is his brother coming in as well, and they're sponsoring our big party, which will be on Sunday.
Right.
Tell me about that.
Well, it's going to be at the Cerveceria Transpeninsula, another sponsor of ours, you know. And you guys have been with Norris before. You've always seen the special beers that they put out just for the event.
Yep.
And the drivers look forward to it at the finish of every event. But this party, sponsored by Adler Motorsports, is going to food, drinks, everything. It's just going to be a beautiful thing, as they always are.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Is that you know, the Mexican 1000, the 1000 race. It's considered the happiest race on earth, and it is.
Yes.
As you see from us for the 500, this is good vibes, good times for the 500, and it is.
Yeah, that description fits.
Yeah. And so the thing is, with the Norra races, it's a race, hands down, and it gets very serious in many classes. But it also is very laid back and just relaxing and high fives and everything in some of the other classes as well. But what it is for everyone is a good time, and they know how to put on a great party.
Yes, they do. But let's touch on what you just said there, Sean, because earlier we spoke about how it's more relaxed and fun, especially the safari class.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the big boys and it's a race on the line, they know one gear, they know one plan, and that's winning.
Right.
Yeah. So, you know, we have some past champions in this race. You know, Robbie Gordon's in here, Cameron Steele's in here, and others. So it's like, you know, we get that big win here, the Norra Mexican 1000 or the Norra 500. It means a lot to those people. So they're racing it hard.
Yeah, you know, when you're talking about, you know, we got the McMillans. They're involved.
Yes.
They're here to win. We got Reese Millen. He's here to win. PJ Jones. Robbie Gordon. So many of these different classes are competitors. I mean, just like you said, their plan is a good party to them is victory.
Is first place.
Victory. Anything else is no good.
No consequence. You want to win.
And that's not, we're just naming some that are very serious that maybe, you know, for instance, Gutierrez Jr., Mario Gutierrez Jr., he's racing, his father's racing 2 vehicles, and we're going to talk to Mario later on. I haven't seen him in a couple of Norras now, but he's coming back down. I know for a fact because I follow on Instagram, as you should follow our Norra page on Instagram as well, and our Facebook. But I follow Mario Gutierrez Jr. They put together 2 cars in 5 weeks just to get down here for this race. Now, that's a competitor that can win at any time. And funny thing is, he used to be one of the top mechanics for Robbie Gordon for a very long time. So he knows how to prep a vehicle. He knows how to drive a vehicle very well. We saw him win the 500 couple
trucks. It's just with all the history behind it as well.
Well, that's the thing, and I'm cheating. I'm using my thing right here. And
that's not cheating.
You can go online and look at all this information as well. But we've got like the Pioneer class. Pioneer class is from 1967 to 75. Older vehicles. The Legends classes. That's up to 82. Then you get into your Challenger. That's through your 80s. And then late 80s and the 90s is vintage, which I think is crazy to me. Vintage is much older than that. But